themselves a win streak as they defeat the Colorado Avalanche 3-1 in Denver tonight. 2-0 so far on this trip. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show, live on location at a very happy Boston Pizza Westgate. Tom Gazzola alongside Derek Van Diest in for Matt Cassian tonight. DVD, of course, from NHL.com. And then we've got YouTube Trev back at ESTHQ. YouTube Trev, you doing all right over there? Feel free to hop on whenever you would like. You can text us, 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. I'm just going to throw this out there really quickly. We're on different headsets tonight.
Okay.
Awanik sent these ones with me. They were a little loud with the ambient noise. They might be again tonight, and we'll work on that. But bear with us. Tony from BP, thank you, sir. Another fun night here. Cheers, salute to everyone out there. Thank you, sir. All right, the Oilers 4-1 winners over the Colorado Avalanche. There we go. The music goes down.
This is the place to be.
It is good. We had a great time here. Big thank you as we begin the show to the Combine crew. Norman Tracy came out, Rip City Step, Tube Socks, as well as Rob from the Grove and his lovely wife, Cheryl. Ben Thompson and his friends were here. They're playing the sim golf, the Coors Light sim golf in the back. And then a whole bunch of other fantastic patrons here, and a lot of great prizes were given out. It was a lot of fun. We gave away an Oilers jersey. We gave away a turntable, like a record player that actually Tube Socks won the draw for. And congratulations to John, I think it was, right, Trev? For the trivia at the pregame show for the Heritage Classic Oilers hoodie. Is that correct?
I believe it was John.
John, exactly. John. And then a whole bunch of GCs and some great Coors Light swag. It's been a lot of fun. It always is when we're here at Boston Pizza Westgate. We've got great partners. We were at Hudson's last night. That was a lot of fun. There's the Combine crew. Thank you, guys. Shout out to Faith, who showed off all the fantastic prizes, and we put it on our social media. All right, let's get down to business. 780-218-9999. Of course, get into the nasty chat. The Oilers pick up a big win over the Colorado Avalanche, 4-1. DVD, just your initial thoughts on that win tonight. Both teams played last night. Both teams had to travel into Denver, and it ends up being the Oilers on the back of a pretty good night from Stu Skinner, getting it done.
Well, yeah, I think it starts there with Stu Skinner, and I think he came up, made some big saves for him. They were a lot better in front of him. I don't think he had much chance on that one goal. Cross-ice pass, and the guy one times a shot from the bottom of the faceoff circle. You're not going to ask a lot of goalies to make that play. But he was solid tonight, and he made some big saves, and he kind of they needed him to make some big saves today because they're still a little sloppy in their own zone at times. They're still running around a little at times, but it begins and ends with him. If you can get a solid performance out of him, if you can get him to keep the goals against down to 2 or less, the odds are the Oilers are going to win, right? 4-1 today. And that's
funny
really, the way it works. It's Dallas Aikens just say it's a 3-2 league.
Well,
it's a 3-2 league.
He's right when he said that. He is right. It is a 3-2 league, but you got to be the team getting 3+.
You got to be the one getting 3. But, keep the goals against, 1 goal against today. He was very, very good. And like we talked about before the show, it's about putting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good starts together. Yep. I think he's 5-1-1 in his last 7. So he's starting to gain some traction here. And it's funny because you can put those starts together, then you get one bad outing, and then kind of derails the whole thing, and everyone wants to run him out of town. and we talked about this last night. It's always the goalie's fault when a team wins. And because the goalie will hide a lot of deficiencies in your game when you're playing well.
Sure.
And then those deficiencies are exposed when he's not playing well, but it's easy to point the finger at the goalie. It's the goalie's fault. I thought the Oilers were much better. They were much better when they had the lead at 2-1, at 3-1. They were much better in that third period, closing that game out than they had been in the past. They're improving. They're getting better. They're doing the little things that are going to pay off in the long run. So it's a solid win. They got to be really happy with this victory. And now they're going to try and close out the trip with a solid effort in Vegas. So
yeah, that's not going to be easy, but the Oilers are always up for playing Golden Knights. in the regular season. I know people go, oh, the playoffs, totally fair, but in the regular season in general, Edmonton has been very good against the Vegas Golden Knights. But I thought tonight would be the tougher night of the 3 games on this road trip because the Colorado Avalanche have given the Oilers fits for years, and especially in Denver. They go in there and they play well, and solid effort all around. Special teams, the PK did give one up, but then it rebounded well. I think it killed off 3 or 4 after that consecutively. So that streak of 17 straight, 8 games in a row, that's ended. The Avs, who do have a good power play, connected on one. Like you said, there was that nice tick. It was a bang play for the goal for the Avs. But overall, the Oilers should be pretty satisfied with what they accomplished tonight. And that's another 2 points. That's climbing the ladder in the Pacific. And that's a 3-game winning streak. So I like it. Let's go to YouTube, Trev. Trev, get on here. What were your takeaways from tonight's Oilers victory?
Let's go, boys. Solid game. It was nice. It's fun to be back in the studio. It's been a minute since I've been doing pre and post, but it was good. It was an enjoyable game to watch. I think for the most part, as far as the offense goes, you got to be, it's okay. You saw what we saw tonight was not Connor McDavid or, the players, not Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl scoring, which is good. They've had to rely, I feel like, pretty heavily on those two at the start of the first quarter mark of the season. But you got Kasperi Kapanen, which was good. He finally got his first as an Oiler, which you like to see. I said on the Nielsen show the other day, I thought he was going to score yesterday. But he came oh so close. He scored tonight, so you like to see that. Vasily Podkolzin, what is that? Three goals in his last 3 games. Hey, he's streaking, baby. The Oilers are streaking, but so
on
is Vasily.
Fire.
Yeah. So as far as the offense goes, you got to be happy that they're finally getting some depth involved. Brett Kulak, best start to the season for him. So it's nice to see Kulak and just these scoring depth pieces that the Oilers have. You're not going to have Connor McDavid and Leon score every single night, so it's nice to have those guys chime in. And then as far as the defense goes, this is a Colorado Avalanche. I mean, you've got the likes of Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon. You've got Mikko Rantanen, who's right up there with Leon Draisaitl among the league leaders in goals. So this team is kind of like the Oilers in the sense they're top heavy and they know how to put the puck in the net. Yes, McKinnon is a little bit on he's struggling right now with as far as points go in his last 5 games or whatever. But hey, I'm curious to see what the grade A scoring chances were, because aside from the Oilers with the one, in the penalty kill there with, it was when they opened up the scoring there in the first period, they didn't really give up much. So I was pretty pleased to see with how the Oilers played defensively on their in their own end. I thought they looked really sound, and we're going to talk about it quite a bit, but this is the consistency we're talking about with Stuart Skinner. Some games he looks, okay, but some games he looks solid. And tonight, I mean, he was solid. There is a few glove saves he made. His rebound control was really good. So if you're an Oilers fan, you got to be happy tonight. I certainly am. It was it was a sound win. And I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's game.
Trev, very well said. A couple of things there. There was a text that came in from some stranger via the Nasty Chat and asked how things went when it came to the Vegas Golden Knights. They got absolutely dummied by Utah Hockey Club, 6-0. So that's a good thing for the Oilers if you look at the standings with Edmonton's victory tonight. And I know that Vegas has been playing well. They lead the Pacific Division with 33 points through 25 games. Edmonton now through 24 games at 28 points. Sitting in third, just ahead of Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks in the Pacific. 3 points back of LA with 1 game in hand. LA has a 3-game winning streak as well. Edmonton now 7-2-1 in its last 10 games. Okay, you heard Trev talking about some of the things he liked. We're going to talk about Podkolzin. 3-game heater. People at the bar here were giving it to me pretty good. That's great. That is excellent. Let's see if he can continue this. I'm not saying I don't like him, because people misconstrue when I say, guys, he's a good 4th liner, for me saying I don't like him. That's not true. But I think that this is nice, and I think that it's good that McDavid and Draisaitl praise him and appreciate what he can do. And I think it's a bonus that he's providing offense. So let's see him ride this out. Give it some time. I'm not sold that he's a top 6 player just yet, but let's give him his flowers because they are due after another good performance tonight, out-muscling Casey Middlestat on that goal. All right, I'm going to get to some business now. Of course, the Oil Stream postgame show brought to you, as always, by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel and engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. And let's get to the scoring summary and game stats from this one. In the first period, it was Colorado opening things up. Andrei Kovalenko's son, Nikolai, gets his 4th of the year, wearing his dad's old number 51. Of course, Andre the Tank played for both the Avalanche and the Oilers. That was that power play marker we were talking about. Lehkonen and Girard, the assist, 1-zip Avs at 7:02 of the first. However, Kasperi Kapanen, taking advantage of his opportunity, playing alongside Connor McDavid, gets his 2nd goal of the season, 3rd point of the year. McDavid the helper, Nugent Hopkins the secondary assist, 1-1 at 11:48. To the second period we go. There he is, Vasily Podkolzin, Mr. Potkolzin, or Todd Colson. And I use that joke because last Saturday someone tried to do a voice to text, and it converted Podkolzin to Todd Colson, which we thought was funny. Podkolzin with a great redirection, good battle in front, out-muscling Casey Middlestat. He's got 3 goals in 3 games. Yeah, you definitely have to give him credit for that. I'll eat my words. Yes, that's fine. Again, I'll just say, let's give it some time, guys. Let's give it some time. But right now, excellent. Round of clicks, all right? Like, let's give him his love because he deserves it. Stetcher and Brown, the assist. Stetcher just firing it on net. Podkolzin doing the dirty work, bangs it, or tips it home. 2-1 Edmonton at 13:48. Heading into the third period now at 3:56. Brett Kulak sifts one through from the point, his 5th goal of the year. Kulak having a good offensive season.
Great year.
Yeah, from Emerson and Skinner. And then the Oilers, like Trev was talking about, very strong in that third period, closing it out, didn't give away too much. McKinnon had a couple of nice chances, that one-timer. You saw Stu Skinner get across nicely. That was nice to see. And we also saw Skinner stop McKinnon a couple times. There was that breakaway McKinnon had. He kind of fumbled it. But he is snake bit. But then when he did get good wood on some shots, Skinner was up for the challenge. So there you go. Nugent Hopkins also goals in consecutive games. That one an empty netter from Henrique and Bouchard at 18:28. 4-1 is your final. Shots on goal, 32-28. For the Oilers, they absolutely own the Avs on the faceoff dot. 69.8% to 30.2. Power play 0 for 2 tonight. PK 4 for 5. They gave up that one early, then go 4 for 4 the rest of the way. Hits just 16. It just changed to 19 in favor of the Avs. Block shots 15 for Edmonton, 9 for Colorado. Giveaways officially 11 for the Avs, 2 for the Oilers. Takeaways 9 for the Avs, 3 for the Oilers. The numbers that matter are 4 and 1. 4 in favor of Edmonton, 1 for Colorado, and the Oilers have their 13th win of the season. DVD, some thoughts?
Some thoughts. You know what? It was, like I said, I thought it was a pretty solid road game for the Oilers. They played well. Obviously, that assist by McDavid was out of this world, but I don't think Kapanen will have an easier tap in than that one, like behind the back pass. That was a great assist. I still frustrating to watch Connor McDavid get all these good looks and decide to pass the puck. Like he had about 4 really solid looks today, and he decided. There was that one where he tried to feed it across. He had a wide open look, feed it across for a tap in. It's kind of interesting. We'll have to ask him about that. Remember, he joked last year that he said he wasn't going to shoot the puck anymore. He didn't want to score any more goals. So we thought last year is because whatever was ailing him was kind of affecting his shooting. That's not the case this year. We've seen him rip a couple already. Seen him rip a couple like reluctantly. He's like, oh, I guess I'll shoot it, and buried it in the top corner. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, he had a good game. I thought, to be honest, McKinnon was all over the ice. Like he was flying out there. Obviously, he had that one breakaway where he blew by. I think it was who was the 2 guys that were blew by? I think. The
puck was bouncing.
Puck was
bouncing a little bit.
Bit, yeah. And then, but he just showed that speed blowing by for that breakaway. So, he was all over the ice. Like he could have had 2 or 3 points tonight. Mm-hmm. The puck, he is a little snake bit. He's not being able to convert all those chances. But overall, you got to be happy with this win if you're the Edmonton Oilers, because you are working on those little things. The power play was a power play and a half. wasn't two power plays because McDavid took that penalty 53 seconds.
I like how he tried to be like, what am I supposed to do? I got the puck.
Yeah, he punched
you
the guy in
don't
the
punch
face.
the guy in the face. There's Calvin DeHaan that he
got him right in the face.
Sneaky. He did it very quickly.
Yeah, you look at that replay, go, yeah, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
No, they played well. But like I said, it starts and goal, and defensively they played well, making smart plays with the puck. Not the high risk for high reward thing is kind of, it hasn't worked out for the Oilers this year. They got to be better with the puck. They got to, especially from the back end, I know Paul Coffey likes his defensemen to be able to make plays, but there is that risk and reward factor.
Right.
And right now this year it's been more risk than it has been reward. So I think sometimes you got to settle that down and make smarter plays. And I thought in the third period, they defended that lead well. And like I said, I've said this before. I had Brian Maxwell was coaching the Lethbridge Hurricanes for a long, long time. Got to know him really well when I was a Mezzanat. He said defending the lead is easy. Keep a lot of guys behind the puck. And that's what the Oilers did. They kept a lot of guys behind the puck. They didn't give a lot of grade A opportunities. And when they did, Stuart Skinner was really solid. So now it's just a matter of, can he put another solid effort against Vegas and then kind of go from there, get more and more starts, get more and more comfortable, and be a lot better.
Gain the confidence of not only, he's got the confidence of his teammates, but for himself, I think internally, and then I think it would help if the fan base had
but when's the last time the fan base was happy with a goalie here at time? It's been a long time. Like maybe Dwayne Rollison, Cujo, right? They didn't like Devin Dubnyk.
Tommy
They didn't
Salo
like,
was really good.
So it's like I said, it's always the goalie's fault. Just like, it's always the refs' fault when the team loses. It's the goalies and the refs.
Don't get me started on refs.
Those are the two that they blame. The goalies and the refs. But no, it was a good, solid win, and I think they got to be happy with that. But you can't be satisfied. They can't just rest on the laurels and say, okay, we won 2 or 3, and then go from there. They got to finish this off. They're in a playoff position, but they're still chasing teams ahead of them.
Like they played 24 games.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of hockey to play.
They have work to do. Yes, I agree with you there.
Not as much work as they had last year, and they will say that, but they do have work to do. This is a team that should win the division. They should win the Pacific Division. They're pegged to win the Pacific Division. They're pegged to go back to the Stanley Cup Final. And I thought it was a solid effort against a team that we talked about earlier is still in their championship window, but they got to figure things out as well. Like they got some things to figure out there at Colorado. Because that window closes pretty quickly. You have the star players there, but you got to get the people around them. And right now, obviously, goaltending is a big issue for them right now.
And they had to start Georgiev 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Obviously, the struggles with Georgiev, we heard from Megan Angley from Guerrilla Sports covering the Avs earlier on the pregame show. And, she broke down eloquently what the problem was with Georgiev. And they had to go out, give up a young goalie to pick up Scott Wedgwood just to support Georgiev. And I don't know. I get the sense that Georgiev is. You want to talk about a team that doesn't have confidence in their goalie?
They're one of them. Yeah, they don't have a lot of confidence in him there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
All right, keep those texts coming in 780-218-9999. We're going to get to a bunch of them right away here. I do need to get to the turning point of the game presented by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians, along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance performance, we treat you like a pro using the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game. I'm going to do something a little bit different, guys, tonight with the turning point of the game. I'm going to make it a sequence. There was a nice Skinner save on McKinnon. I think he caught it with his shoulder. And then it was a little bit later where Vasily Podkolzin parks himself in front. Casey Middlestad is trying to fight with him for positioning. Middlestad nowhere near as big and strong as Podkolzin, and he gets a nice tip on the Troy Stetcher shot past Georgiev. I thought that's where the Oilers started to really take over in the game. Listen, in the first period, there were both moments in the game where both teams could say, hey, we feel like we've got something building here. And I thought in the second period, you get the nice save from Skinner on McKinnon, and then Podkolzin goes back at the other end of the rink, and he tips home the shot from Stetcher. I'm going to call that the turning point of the game. That sequence, get the Skinner save on McKinnon, and then the Podkolzin goal, his third straight in as many games for your turning point of the game presented by Advantage Sports Medicine and therapy. Any thoughts on that, Trev, or DVD, or do you want to defer and say it should be something else?
No, that's the right one. I think I agree with you there. And then, just looking at the game sheet, when the Oilers win and McDavid and Draisaitl don't score, that's a
great
bonus.
That's depth showing up.
Yeah, that's your depth, and that's what you need to win the Stanley Cup. So they got the depth. These guys are starting to come together. I think they're playing really well.
Good.
And they're starting to get, when Chris Knobloch got here, he was talking about players have to have roles, whether it's the third line role, fourth line role. They have to have roles. You have to let them play their roles, and you have to have confidence in doing that. And I think that we're starting to see that now. We're starting to let other guys, give some time, give them an opportunity, and hope that they don't disappoint you. And I think right now those guys are taking advantage of those opportunities.
Okay, text us, 780-218-9999. Let's get your thoughts on tonight's Oilers victory and get into the nasty chat as well. I'm going to start with this one. It says, what's DVD doing there? Shouldn't he be at Kelly's?
Maybe they'll leave the bar open for me later tonight. I don't know.
Well, you have keys to it, don't you?
Keys to the place,
yeah. You're the mayor of Kelly's.
The mayor of Kelly's.
All right, let's go to Andrew. Andrew texting in says, one guy I really liked tonight was Emberson. He played McKinnon well, looked solid on the PK. If we take a look at what Ty Emberson was able to accomplish. And DVD, we've talked a little bit about Emberson, and we've seen some incremental growth, which is great because he's a guy that hasn't played a lot of NHL hockey. He finished the night with an assist, +1, 1956 time on ice, and he had a shot, 2 block shots, 1 hit. And I would say that's pretty good for a depth defenseman, just trying to figure his way through the NHL and early in his career through 51 games now.
Yeah, that's a solid night. And they talk about defensemen. He's 24 years old. You talk about defensemen. It takes about 200 games for them to get comfortable.
That's the same.
He's played 51. So you're talking about, the expectations are high on this kid. Mm-hmm. And he's a good defenseman. He's got a lot of skills. Yeah, early on. He's early in his career. He's still trying to figure it out. But, yeah, that's what they say. You can't really tell what you have in a defenseman until they play 200 games. And you ask defensemen about that. You ask Darnell Nurse and you ask some other guys. They'll be like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. 200 games, that's pretty accurate. So he's got a ways to go yet before we kind of get a really good read on him. But so far, it's, as Tom Brady used to say, arrow up, baby. Arrow up. Because it's looking good. He's playing a lot better. He looked nervous at the beginning of the season, understandably.
I would be nervous because there was a lot of attention paid to him after that trade for Cody Ceci.
Yeah, for sure. He was traded for a veteran guy.
Yes.
Coming in here, and he's going to take those minutes, and he's up to 20 minutes now, and he looked pretty solid outside the one time where McKinnon blew by him.
All right, let's get a more text here. Let's go to Mac Lamec texting in saying, the Oilers showed up for all 3 periods. Skinner solid. McDavid swerving and serving pucks and punches tonight. All around great game. Bonus, that Nugget scored again. To follow up on Mac Lamec, Nugent Hopkins looks like he's moving his feet a little bit more. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. And he's winning battles, too. This is a guy that has to win battles. He goes in there and he's very cagey when he wins battles. He doesn't necessarily out-muscle people, but he's very good with his stick, and he's very cagey with his stick. And we've seen that the last couple of games, winning battles. And it'll start coming for him. He's had a lot of opportunities, had a lot of chances. But, he does a lot of work on both sides of the puck. And I think sometimes the work that he does on the defensive side of the puck gets lost when he's struggling offensively. But like I said, this is a guy that's had 100 points in his career in a season. So he's going to, he has that ability. We'll see what happens with him. If this kind of sparks him, get him going a little bit.
About damn time. A lot of people think it's about damn time, Nuge. 1 goal, 1 assist tonight for Nugent Hopkins, 2 points. He was the only Oiler with multi-point night. +2, 21:51 time on ice. He also ends up with 4 shots on goal, 1 block shot, and had a takeaway as well. He was 50% on the face-off dot. So nice to see some spark and life. And Nugent Hopkins getting back on the board 2 games in a row. Let's go to Russian Spa Guy. Hey, Russian Spa Guy says, Tommy, the noise is way better tonight. It was the loud-ass music last night. You're good. Skinner, 964. Need more of that. And the boys were solid, clearing the zone, controlling play, That's a great game, says Russian Spa Guy. Thank you. We need that feedback on our new gear because we've expanded, obviously, at our station. We've added new equipment.
Yeah.
And this is my first go with the new headset.
Yeah.
I actually used an old one that I still had.
It was really clubby the other night after the game.
You were dancing.
They were having the grooves going. It was clubby. There was a dance floor. It was, yeah.
A lot of Christmas parties were winding up there last night.
For sure. It went from a pub to a club.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes, but very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're too old for the club. Well, I am anyway.
I am too old.
I'm too old for the club.
But thank you for the feedback, Russian Spa Guy, on the headsets. Glad to hear it's better tonight. And I actually went back last night and I watched. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was pretty loud because it was loud in our ears.
Yeah, it was loud in our ears. Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Ooh, I like this. Buzz in Nebraska watching the show says, first Tommy and fire of the season, sending in a photo with the fireplace going and watching the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Thank you, Buzz in Nebraska. Hope you're staying warm, my friend, on a cold, wintry night, especially up here in Edmonton. Let's go to Mike in Thunder Bay, who says, imagine getting to restart your career beside McDavid. What a huge opportunity for Kapanen. McDavid can make it so easy. And even Tobias Reeder could have scored that goal. Tommy, you are going to owe Vasily Podkolzin an apology pretty soon here. Seriously, Podkolzin seems to be a bigger, better Yamamoto. Now you can see why Dry love to play with both of them. Massive win tonight against a team that seems to get the better of the Oilers. Mike in Thunder Bay, thank you for the text. Let's give praise where praise is due, and I will happily do that. Eat crow on this one.
Well, it's 3 games
in a row, but
it's 3 games.
Let's take a deep breath. Let's enjoy it, but do not anoint him anything.
No, I get that, and I think the reason Draisaitl likes playing with him because he does a lot of the heavy lifting in the corners. He'll go dig those pucks out of the corner. Like he does. You need a guy like that. You need a guy to go in there and help you retrieve pucks, and then you retrieve pucks, and then you get them to Draisaitl. And I think that's what he likes playing with him. He's a smart hockey player. He's obviously a talented guy. He's a high first-round pick for a reason.
Yeah.
This guy has talent, so he has skill, and it's just a matter of kind of pointing that skill in the right direction. For whatever reason, it didn't work out in Vancouver. And usually, that's sometimes you get on the coach's bad side and you can't get off. Like it just that happens sometimes.
4 coaches.
Well, yeah, he played. I think Bruce Boudreau played him the most when he was there.
That was after Travis Green, right?
I think so, yes. Yeah. And then after that, he kind of got into the doghouse. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Pods thumping, says Rip City Step. Yes, Pots goals in. Good to see. And that's good that he's doing that. Yep. You know what? He's going to need to provide and chip in with some offense, regardless of where he finishes up the season. But right now, this is good. Let's see it continue. See if it can grow from here. If it does, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm not going to say I told you so. I will just leave it be.
Let it be.
But right now, very good. I like it. I'll eat crow. More than happy to. That's just fine. So, but Vasily Podkolzin, 3 goals in 3 games. Nice 3 goals, too. I will say that, too. All right. A couple more texts here. 780-218-9999. Shaggy in St. Albert last night gave us a nice breakdown. Let's follow it up with his thoughts on the Oilers' win in Colorado tonight. Shaggy in St. Albert texting in. Says they started slow again, but recovered. Once again, goals from the not usual suspects, except for Podkolzin.
Podkolzin. That's a great nickname. We'll have to ask him about that.
Shaggy and St. Albert went with Podkolzin instead of Pot's Goals In. And not Todd Colson.
Yeah.
Which was the miscommunication between Siri and voice to text. Anyway, Shaggy and St. Albert follows up with Podkolzin line played good. I like that he uses Podkolzin line. Skinner won the battle of the mediocre goalies. Solid plus 900 save percentage game. Penalty kill, good again. Tonight, despite the 1 against, power play still a work in progress. Fair point. Actually kept the lead in the 3rd period with key saves by Skinner. You hope they keep this going in Vegas, but with this team, I could see them getting blown out with them catching the Vegas nightlife flu. Well, they're going to fly there tonight. They can go out, have some fun, burn off some steam tonight.
Yeah, they don't play till Tuesday.
They have till Tuesday to recover. But they do generally play well in Vegas. How would you describe? Because we hear Vegas flu, and
you know what? I'll tell you honest, Nashville flu is more prevalent than the Vegas.
I've caught it many times.
Yes, the Nashville flu is tough because Yes. And the Vegas flu, eventually the Vegas, you're like, I'm going to bed. Nashville flu, you're like, I can't leave. This band is so good. And suddenly it's 3 a.m.
And you're having a great time.
And you're having a great time. And
just
unless you're a gambler or whatever.
And you don't have to spend $30 a drink.
It's true. Yeah. So it's, those that have been to Nashville, they'll understand. It's like, I'd be more concerned my team going, I don't know how Nashville's not 41-0 at home, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's just,
they have their struggles.
They have their struggles right now, but they should be 41-0. Vegas flu. I don't know. Vegas is nice. I enjoy Vegas. But
I enjoy it. I love the desert.
But to me, it's Nashville's way more dangerous than Vegas.
And then just to wrap up what Shaggy and St. Albert was saying with Vegas and maybe the Vegas flu. Edmonton 13-8-2 all time against Vegas. That's home and away. Let's go to when they are on the road in Vegas, 6-5. So they play all right there.
Yeah, if you're 500 on a road, that's what you like. Yeah, so no, they play well there, and you know what? And there's a lot of Oilers fans go there. They usually get a lot of the Oilers fans travel well. In Vegas. So yeah, there's always a lot of good support for the Oilers in Vegas.
Edmonton has won 5 of their last 7 visits to Vegas.
There you go.
That's pretty good. They did lose the last one. Guy texting and says, I love Nashville. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Nashville's awesome.
Phenomenal town.
I highly recommend Nashville, Tennessee.
So
it's just
we have a direct out of Edmonton to Nashville, too.
Do we?
We do.
That's awesome.
We do. Yes, we do.
It's the only places they go. Here in Calgary. In Vancouver.
Yeah, stop it. Let's get to YouTube Trev. YouTube Trev, any other texts you're seeing before we get to some audio and video? Come on in, buddy.
Yeah, just working on Stuart Skinner right now. He should be ready in about 2 minutes. But
okay.
Yeah, just touching on, I guess, Nugent Hopkins. That's one player that I saw, and I guess I don't know what it was. Last night, obviously, he had the break there, but that was the first time you really saw him skate hard, I could say, all season long. It looks like he's found his wheels, and he's got a good shot. But tonight, there was a few plays where I'm just like I've mistaken him. And I'm not even joking. I honestly, you got the 9 on the back. I'm like, is that McDavid? Oh, no, that's Nuge. Like, he's got his wheels back. Like, he's skating good. And, like, I don't know if that's what the issue was, but it's apparent to me that he's skating tonight. And I can't say that he was hustling all season long. So it's nice to see Nugent Hopkins in a multi-point game tonight. It looks like he's finding his game. And boy, like when Nugent Hopkins is on his game, like I can't express how important of a piece he is on the power play. Like it's often overlooked. McDavid, Draisaitl, yes, like they're unbelievable, but I always refer back to, I think it was 2019, 2020, something like that, when Nugent Hopkins had his last major injury and he lost a significant time. Like the power play took a serious dive, and so when Nugent Hopkins is on his game, like he's such an integral piece to the power play and obviously just 5-on-5 in general. So it's nice to see Nugent Hopkins find his game. It looks like he is finding his game, and that's all his skating. And so I saw that tonight. It's good to see. But yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that with Nugent Hopkins there.
Very nice, Trev. Very nice. Let's go to Coach Mike. Coach Mike texting in says you can't stop Podkolzin, you can only hope to contain him. Great win by the Oilers. 3-game heater from Coach Mike. Lloyd Braun texting in, sending in a coffee. Somebody sipping coffee and said gondola when Podkolzin scores a goal. Me drinking angrily. That's what he's sending in. He's sending in gifts. Well played. Let's go to the Liquid Beaver texting in. Says they have to take number 92 out of the top 6. He's scoring way too much and taking the Thunder away for 29 and 97. Yeah, okay. I know what Liquid Beaver's doing there. Very funny. Very funny.
That's sarcasm.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this one from Ducky at you. Is Kulak the front runner for the Norris? He's having a very good year. DVD,
good year. I actually pulled him aside about a week ago before they left town, and we talked. And I've always thought that Brett Kulak could do more, because he's a great skater. He gets up and down the ice really well, and for whatever reason, he would just stay home. And I'm like, this is a guy that can get up and down the ice. Why doesn't he do it more often? And he's doing it this season. So obviously someone has told him that, or he's kind of realized that. And I said, hey, you're getting up for the ice a lot more this year. Is that just me, or is that something you're doing consciously? He's like, no, I've decided that, I can get up and down the ice. I got good enough wheels to get back.
Yep.
And he's got pretty good offensive instincts. And I've always thought this about Kulak. And Like, he should do more of that. He should jump into the rush, be that second wave guy. He scored one of his goals. He's standing in front of the net. No one kind of knew what he was doing there.
Right? Like, I don't think he knew what he was doing.
But that's what he can do. He has that ability, and I think they've given him the green light. Obviously, go and do that. For whatever reason, he didn't seem to do that last season, and maybe in the playoffs he did a little bit. But I've always liked him. I've always liked his skating ability, and if you can skate your way up and down the ice, you can skate your way out of trouble. Like, you can. If you get in trouble, you can always get back. So I think that's the key for him. But he did tell me that, yes, he's making a conscious effort to jump more into the rush than he had in the past. So it's an observation. We've all observed it, and he's like, no, you're absolutely right. I'm doing that a lot more this year.
Hard guy to get along with. I tell you what, that Brett Kulak. Kidding. That is also sarcasm. He is excellent to deal with. Very good guy. From the Edmonton area, out in Stony Plain. Kulak right now, he scored his 5th goal of the season tonight, and he also has 4 helpers for 9 points, which is pretty good from a third-pairing D-man. A solid third-pairing D-man, and it's a good thing that they have him around. All right, let's go to C-Mac, who texted in. C-Mac texts in and says, great game. Stu was solid. Some amazing saves. Couldn't help but notice Draisaitl's two-way game tonight. A solid 2 points for the Oilers.
Well, he doesn't make, Draisaitl sometimes makes the really bad plays. Like, it's just like, and it drives the coach crazy, the backhand sauce up the middle when you're up 3-1.
But he's so good at it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's going to come back down your throat.
It does.
And I think that's the thing. It's like, and I'm pretty sure that's what the coaches say. Like, hey, we talked about this for the game. Let's play the situation sometimes. You got to play the situation. When you're in a situation like, you're winning and there's little time left, let's not throw the puck up the middle of the ice. Let's play it around the perimeter. Let's get the puck in deep. And I think that's the one thing too, is like, make smarter plays with the puck sometimes. And I think we saw a couple of instances when they're up 3-1. It didn't make smart plays with the puck, and it could have cost them. Skinner bailed them out. But you got to be smarter with the puck. This game, this game is played between your ears sometimes, and you got to make those plays.
And that's a problem for this Oilers team. Has been for
a little bit. They just don't make the smart plays sometimes. So.
All right, you talk about Stu Skinner. He did bail them out a bunch of times tonight. Trev said that Skinner did speak, and we're going to have that audio and video. Trev, is that ready to go?
I just got it ready.
Oh, baby. Great timing. All right, my friend, tee it up for us.
Yeah, this is Stuart Skinner after his 4-1 win tonight.
Yeah, felt good right from the get-go. Yeah, it was just kind of, I thought that our team really helped me able to, get in the game early on. So full team effort here tonight, being able to get the 2 points is massive, especially back-to-back, getting both wins. It's hard to do.
Tell me about that big glove save on McKinnon there in the second midway.
Yeah, you know what? It was the only reason I flashed it was because I didn't really see much. It was a really nice play by him. He stick handled probably 100 times within that second, and then kind of faked it with the pass and then super quick release. So it was kind of just a reflex save on my part, and really nice play by him. I was just able to get the better end of it.
Go ahead. We were talking earlier in the week about kind of the season for you, right? Ups and downs and all that stuff. Do you think this is a game that can really kind of get you going in the right direction?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to trust the process, keep on moving forward here. It's a good game, some things that I can learn and get better at, and just keep on growing.
Can we say maybe the chances tonight were more predictable? They didn't result from a quick giveaway and boom, you're getting a shot. Is that fair?
I think on the PK, absolutely. I think we were actually just talking about it. Me and Pix, we were talking about how predictable the PK was. I think especially on a difficult power play that Colorado has, that's a hard thing to do. So, for the most part on their power play, we were just able to, give them plays that were open and not really make a mess out of things east to west. And so it was an amazing job by the PK, and I think we've been doing a heck of a job for a while here now.
You almost got the one that went in.
Yeah,
hey,
close. Yeah, I went. It was a really hard hit on the glove, and I thought I had it. I was almost going to celebrate, but I just saw it just trickle in, and that happens. It was a really nice shot. It was a hard shot. I was able to get a little bit, but at the end of the day, nobody cares. It was a goal.
Stu, I just want to ask you about your teammate Vasily Podkolzin. I mean, a lot of people have recognized that he's always the first one on the ice. We all know his routine.
Yeah.
To see him score in 3 straight games and to be rewarded in this fashion, as a teammate, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's amazing. It's fantastic to see him get that reward, being able to get some goals here. I think, I mean, he's got a heck of a shot. He's, like you said, he's always the first guy on the ice. It's kind of a running joke where we start getting dressed and everyone's like, oh, I wonder where Pods is. He's like, because he's on the ice 30 minutes before. It's unbelievable. He's so hardworking and he really cares. So it's he deserves everything he's getting.
Stu, I know we talked about this, but Monday is decision day, right, for the Hockey Canada, or for Team Canada. And I know your focus is with this team, but this is the last audition for you. What do you think? Maybe
tonight was the last audition.
It would have been, yeah. You don't have another start until that. So what do you think about that kind of thing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it was last shot, and you gave it a pretty good effort for it.
Yeah. I gave my best effort for the win, obviously, for tonight playing against Colorado. That's a difficult question for me to answer because I'm not thinking about a single thing with that playing against McKinnon, Makar, and I mean all the guys in their lineup. So I mostly played well for the team of the Oilers. Sorry, it's not the best answer for you, but that's all I got for you.
Okay, Stu Skinner, 28 saves in the win. Some really nice ones, especially on Nathan McKinnon. All right, listen, I think we call that the advancer that DNB was doing there for a story about Team Canada.
Well, we talked to him about that last week, so we had about a 10-minute discussion with.
Yes.
Well, and he had he had a lot of good things to say. So it was nice when you kind of, no offense to the cameras, but it's nice when you get to pull a guy aside and just changes this perspective.
Lucky.
Tells us a lot of things, so it's really good in that regard. And we had a good 10, 15-minute talk with Stu, so it was good.
He's beaming with confidence, and he should be. You can see it there in that scrum.
Well, he's an easygoing guy. Like, he's a great guy. He's an easygoing guy. Like I said, he's a guy that he tries not to let things bother him. He understands that he's playing a position which a lot, is a lightning rod sometimes when things aren't going well. He understands that, and it goes with the flow, and he got rid of his Twitter account. So
he actually did? Oh, God, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. That's good. One thing I respect about Stu is you could tell, like, he's very cerebral. He's a thinker. And if that noise, let's call it, from social media, he needs to get rid of.
He just said, I stay off social media. It's, there's nothing's good going to happen. Because when you're playing well, everyone talks about how wonderful you are. You're playing bad, everyone talks about how you should get run out of town. So it's never going to be good. So he was mentioning that he's no longer on social media. Like, I think a lot of those guys aren't anymore. Like, it's just become really tough. And so
it's not a good play. There he is doing
we talked about the commercial. We talked about the
that's a good one. California Closets. He's got that hat that Mike Smith gave him.
The hat looks great.
Probably got a nice setup in his master bedroom.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Looking sharp in the suit with the hat. Stu Skinner, 28 saves. Big win in what is, I guess, his last shot at.
Well, it's not audition, but I think those guys have gone back and forth, and we discussed it. Like, how much does 25 games at the start of the season play into who's going to be on that team? And I do think a lot of that team. I think it does and it doesn't, because I think that team is a dress rehearsal for the Olympics. And
absolutely.
And if you think a guy that's on a heater for the 25 games to start the season, but he's not going to maintain it, and he's not going to be on your Olympic team, probably won't be on that Four Nations team. Like I said, it's a dry run. It's a dress rehearsal or whatever it is. Like, it's going to be a fun tournament, because it's been a long time since we've seen best on best. It's going to be a fun tournament.
Well, we're missing a lot of the best because there's only four.
It's true. There's only 4 teams, but hey, you want to see McDavid with Crosby. You want to see McDavid
and Crosby being together, and we're going to get that treat finally.
It's going to be. It's finally going to get that. So, knock on wood, finally going to get that.
Good job knocking on the wood.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to YouTube Trev. YouTube Trev, we have someone else that we're going to hear from. I think he's on fire. I think his name is Todd. I can't remember. Tee this one up for us.
The Oilers are streaking, and so is this guy. 3 goals in his past 3 games. This is the new king of Edmonton, Vasily Podkolzin.
remember when you scored your first, you said, I scored, but I have to score more. Now that you're scoring more, how do you feel about your game?
Good. Always fun to score. Always fun to be useful for the team. So, but again, I try to not talking about it too much. Just try to keep working and keep find this momentum.
How about this victory for your team? I mean, that's not an easy squad to face against over there, but 3 straight victories for you. How do you feel like your team is trending, man?
It's a good team win. So it's a special team starts works. So it's a big thing too. So yeah, it's a good team win. So we're gonna rest tomorrow, and we'll finish it in Vegas.
Silly, what do you think of your goaltenders' work tonight?
Second.
What do you think of your goaltenders' play tonight?
Our goal?
Yeah.
Stuart? Yeah. Great job. And he lives in another game, and he did a really good job. And we can't even ask for more.
Vasily, when you have a couple of the best players in the world like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl saying how much they appreciate your game and how much they appreciate your approach to the game, what does that mean to you personally?
I really appreciate it. So it's it means a lot for me, and I'm gonna keep working, gonna keep help my team to win, and just stay positive and have fun out there.
Your parents leave town and you start scoring goals.
I scored first one when they were in town, so it's a good thing they saw that.
Where did they go to? Back to Russia? Or
they're back to Moscow. Yeah.
There you go, Mr. Podkolzin getting his 3rd in 3 straight games, and all of them pretty nice, to be honest with you. Great shot against the Rangers, good finish on the 2-on-1 last night in Utah, and then we see him outmuscle Casey Middlestat in front of Alexander Georgiev. Good redirection goal. Kudos to him.
Well, for sure. Kudos 100%. To him, and kudos to him. And he looks like he's having fun. I think that's the thing.
That's good.
He's got a really infectious personality. He's a fun guy to be around. He's a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah.
Obviously, when things aren't going well, no one's fun to be around. No one's fun to talk to. But when things are going well, you want to talk to him. He'll tell you things like it's great. It's going well. I agree with you, Tom. Small sample size. 3 games.
But this is a very good
sample size, right? So I hit a home run in softball once, and everyone expected me to do it every game. Right?
They didn't call you slugger.
Exactly. After one home run.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is a small sample size.
Yeah, that's fair. YouTube Trev, we are going to get to the player of the game. Are you ready for that yet, or do you need a little bit of time?
I am ready.
All right, let's go. I'm going to read it out here. It's the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian Remax realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. YouTube Trev, who is the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. This feels like deja vu. I only did it 90 times last year about, so this is nice. It's fun to be back, and from one mustache to another, I don't think there's any surprise tonight. It's going to Stuart Skinner, the player of the game. We just heard from him earlier on. Look, he was solid tonight. I just want to see him solid again. And, let's string like 4 or 5 games together for Stuart Skinner. He only let 1 goal in, .964 save percentage tonight. So I don't think it's really any surprise. And just thought I'd share this cool stat with you. Stuart Skinner, 139 games played, became the 3rd fastest goaltender in Oilers history to reach 80 career wins behind only Andy Moog and Grant Fuhr. So puts himself amongst elite company there with 2 Oilers legends, and it's pretty cool. He did it in dramatic fashion, or not dramatic fashion, but good fashion with the solid win, and he was solid all around tonight. So Stuart Skinner, you are the Damon Bunting Player of the Game.
Excellent. You're going to be doing arts and crafts tomorrow, and I'll bring that ribbon that you create from your very hands to him in the locker room when they arrive back home next week. That is a great stat that Trev brings up, and I'm glad you did, behind Andy Moog and Grant Fuhr, to 3rd fastest to 80 wins for Oilers goaltenders. I think that says something. He's in his 3rd full season. I know that, like you said, DVD, and Trev's alluded to it too, we all have it at the station. He's a lightning rod because he had a tough go in the playoffs last year against Vancouver. Rallied in the 3rd round against Dallas. Was good in the final. He's been an all-star. He's been a Calder finalist. He's gone to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. He's just working on his 3rd full season. And he's not in an easy position as the number 1 for the Edmonton Oilers in a time where their window to win is now. But he seems to be handling it pretty good, in my opinion. How do you look at this?
No, it is. It's like, there's he wasn't, if you look at the game plan, he wasn't supposed to be here for the game plan, right? They're goalies that are born to start. They're goalies that become starters, and then goalies that have stardom thrust on them. And that's what happened with Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
Like, he was thrust into this position a year and a half into his career going, oh, okay, you want me to play 45 games a year? Okay, I didn't know that was going to happen. And he stepped up to the challenge and took on the challenge, right? Because the plan was Jack Campbell's going to be the guy for the next 5 years. Now, that lasted about a year and a half.
Oh, didn't even last
Not
a
even,
year.
A year and a year, not even.
Well, they had to send him down early in the second year. They barely played. They gave him that month off. Remember, they gave him that month off to like regroup.
So it didn't work out with Jack Campbell. And then suddenly they say, okay, Stuart Skinner, you have to be our guy, sink or swim type thing. And he was able to handle that situation. Again, he's in his 3rd season in the league. Like, it's in his 3rd season. Like, when you look at other young players in their 3rd season, what are you expecting out of him? Of course, he's going to be the goaltender. Like, it's a position where you got to develop into it, especially if you could be in a starter playing every other night. I think he's handling it well. He's going to be a solid starting goaltender. And right now, you look at the situation, he could be one of the 3 Canadian goalies at the Four Nations.
I don't think he's going to be, but
well, you look at the other goalies around. There's not a lot of other options, right? Like, Binnington's having a terrible. Mountain Bow's having a bad season.
Yeah.
Binnington's having a bad season. Aiden Hill's having a bad season. You look at the numbers of the goalies that are having good seasons. You're like, Logan Thompson, Cam Talbot. Like, are they going to take those guys?
We've had Jamie McLennan and Tony from VP Westgate say, what about Marc-Andre Fleury?
Exactly.
And he's the backup in Minnesota.
He's played 6 games this year.
Yeah, he let one in from
let's pump the brakes
140 feet out.
Trying to sweep it away. So there's not, like I said, there's part of that. Yeah, the goaltending talent pool is a little weaker in Canada now.
It is.
But he's among them. Like, he's in that mix. And if you take away he's had 4 bad starts. Right?
Yeah.
You take away
I'd say 4 or 5.
4. Take away those, and it's like, this guy's a solid goalie. So I think,
but
I don't think
they only scored like 2 goals in most of those.
Well, that's right. They didn't give him a lot of They didn't give him a lot of run support early on, right? The Oilers were struggling to score. So, but yeah. So I said, you got to be patient with these guys, and then so what happens is you run a goalie out of town, then they turn into Devin Dubnyk and go, oh, look what he's done.
3-time All-Star, 3 consecutive years. Yeah.
Right.
With his old goalie coach that got fired here in Edmonton, by the way.
So,
I just watched Josh Anderson fill in Jacob Trouba on the highlights here. I was watching that. I was listening to you, but
no, I did. Yeah, and then multiple is supposed to be. Oh, this guy's next coming of Carey Price.
That's a bit of a stretch.
No, and not happening. So Montreal's struggling. I think your dad was right when he said they're a little small up front.
They are small.
So I think they're gonna get some, meat up front. But we'll see what happens there. That's not gonna last long before changes are made. But yeah, so I think right now Stu Skinner, you know what, he lets in the occasional bad goal, and I think that you got to get that out of his game. But there was another Hall of Fame goalie that used to let in bad goals, right?
Who's that?
Some guy named Grant.
How did he do?
He did pretty well, right?
Where's he from?
Yeah, exactly. So Fuhrer would be like, oh, he's letting a bad goal. But then when it was time to shut it down, he shut it down. Like, that's what made him so great. And he is the best 6'5" goalie in the world. Right?
Let's see what Stu Skinner can do.
Let's see what he can do.
All right, a couple more texts as we continue on here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Edmonton 4, Colorado 1. Give Edmonton a 3-game winning streak. Tom Gazzola, Derek Van Diest, YouTube Trev with you tonight on the post-game show. Hampton Steve texts in, says, good evening, gents. A very impressive and professional win by the Oilers. Now the challenge is for them to not feel fat and happy, quote unquote, going into Vegas against a Golden Knights team that got embarrassed tonight. Hampton Steve referencing the 6-0 spanking at the hands of Utah Hockey Club. Anthony in Long Island. All right, welcome. Anthony in Long Island says, pot is hot. Anthony from Long Island. Appreciate that. Let's get to a few more here. Coach Mike says, where do you think Kapanen fits into the lineup once Hyman is healthy?
That's going to be he's obviously going to drop down the bottom six, so he's going to have to. He's going to have to find himself a role there as a bottom six player. He's going to have a bit of a checking role, but just take advantage of the situation while you're here. Like take advantage of that and just have fun playing. But yeah, once Zach Hyman comes back, which might be Tuesday, who knows? We'll see. Now that the Oilers won 2 in a row, there's no rush probably to get him back in the lineup.
Or could you get him in lower in the lineup, limit his minutes, let him feel his way back in?
Well, yeah, you could do that as well. But Hyman's not a checking forward. Like he's a guy that goes and stands in front of the net and scores a lot of goals.
I wouldn't mind seeing him. You go, all right, Zach, go start on the second or third line. And then he goes, F that, I'm going to go and take my spot
exactly.
back. I would
he's
like
a first line guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what? Throw the dangling carrot.
If he's ready to play, he's going to play on that first line.
Okay, good question, Coach Mike. Mike from Calgary says, great win. Team was effing teaming. Enjoy the night, boys. They were teaming. I like it. Thank you, Mike from Calgary. Stay safe, stay warm. And then Tube Socks says, nice work tonight, fellas. Tube Socks, thank you for coming out. Congrats on winning that record player compliment of Boston Pizza Westgate. Troll says, McDavid didn't score, but he was unreal on that Kapanen goal. A couple more. Mike Reno, it's bedtime. That's my dad. Says, isn't it sad? Most good goalies are now from either Russia, Sweden, or even the USA. We don't seem to put an emphasis on that aspect of the game. And we've had a few people talk about it. It is an issue. Belzy has an interesting take on goaltending. He thinks that kids now, especially Canadian kids in the TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat era, see the goal highlights, the crazy deeks, the sellies, and they're wooed by that. And nobody wants to play in net, make the crazy windmill saves, the 2-pad stacks, the Joaquin Gage 2-pad stack that goes in, because he goes flying by and then the puck dribbles past.
No, it's true. No, but you know what though? It's expensive to play goal in minor hockey.
It is super expensive.
And that's the thing. Like when my nephew tried, he got the chance to play goal. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I hope he doesn't do well because that's gonna be very expensive. It's gonna be very expensive. So I think somehow they're gonna have to figure that out to not make it so expensive to play goal because it's a burden. It's a burden to play goal and. Your kids, imagine just you get a new set of goal pads every year because your kids are growing. It's
super expensive.
Super, yeah.
And they don't last the same way that they used to. They break down quicker, especially the NHL. NHL guys are on a different level. Pro guys, obviously, but
you got to go in. And if you're a parent and you already got to pay these high registration fees, now I got to drop $3,000 on goal pads for a 10-year-old or whatever they are now. Like it's
not cheap.
It's not cheap, and I think somehow that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to bring the cost down of this sport somehow.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, they got to figure it out because more and less kids are playing because it's too expensive to play hockey right now.
There was a time where there was always kids that loved playing goalie and they liked being the guy.
Well,
that
in
was
street hockey, everyone wanted to play goalie.
Street hockey is what I was thinking about. Yeah.
When we were because we got to wear the pads in street hockey. I want to play. I want to play the pads in street hockey.
Making big saves.
Yeah, big saves, and everyone wanted to be the goalie. So, but I think those times are changing. Everyone wants to score goals now. I get that, but I think cost is one of the issues. I don't know how they're doing it in other countries, but they got to figure that out here.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. When Canadians put their minds to doing things right when it comes to hockey and rethinking things, they generally figure it out. I have no doubt that we as Canadians, when it comes to goaltending, will get this thing sorted out. Whatever solution we come up with collectively, but right now is not the time.
Well, you got to get more kids playing, and you know what? If the U.S. has a really good team. If the U.S. go into that Four Nations and win that Four Nations, and people go, whoa, right?
The U.S. has a great development program. The U.S. lots of money, lots of kids with lots of money. And then they just sheer population. They have 10 times the population we have, and that lends to more kids with big bucks, with big parent bucks behind them, getting into the sport, and they are talented too. All right, we have a couple more minutes. I have one text saved for the very end. Let's get YouTube Trev in here one more time. All right, big boy, your final thoughts for the rest of the weekend after that big Oilers win, 3 straight victories. They get it done against Colorado, and now they look ahead to Vegas. What do you want to send us off with, big boy?
Oh, as far as like video and audio? Or my thoughts on...
No, we're done with video and audio.
Oh, okay.
We've seen enough.
Okay.
Just your thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, guys...
Your thoughts on the game.
Yeah. No, it was a solid game tonight. I don't know what...
Actually, stop. I want to hear about feelings and emotion.
I've got a lot about that.
I know. Continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. But, man, like, don't change what you did tonight. You don't have to overcomplicate things. Do whatever you drew on the board today, draw the exact same thing. Don't change anything from tonight's game because the Oilers played a pretty solid, I'd say 50 minutes. The first 10 minutes of tonight's game, I feel like Colorado, they had a little bit more of a push. But other than that, like, don't change your game plan. I like what they did 5-on-5. We talked about in the pregame show yesterday. If it wasn't for the power play, they probably weren't winning yesterday's game. So they showed up on 5-on-5. They showed up on special teams, and just don't overcomplicate it. As simple as that, I'd say. And the scoring depth tonight, they showed up as well. So the Oilers have tended to play pretty good in Vegas. They've got a decent track record, and I expect them to show up on Tuesday. So that's what I'd say for my final thoughts on the Oilers.
Very good, Trev. Very good. So nice to have you back on. Oh. I love you. Don't get me wrong, and I love Hernan. Him and I did this show on our old station for many years, but it was a treat to have you on again. And I know whenever Nanso needs a break, you're ready to rock and roll and slide in perfectly like a glove. All right, DVD, you've been excellent as always, filling in for Matt Cassian as our analyst tonight. I know we get bonus coverage from you like we did yesterday, but some final takeaways from you.
Well, I just they got to keep this rolling now. I think they got to get back, and they were talking about fixing different aspects of their game and getting it all together, and they got to keep it rolling. And but I think right now you're looking at a team that they know they're a good team, they know they're a contending team, and now they're just putting it together, and they just keep that rolling. And I think that's what they're looking at there. And I think they want to go into Vegas tomorrow and then have a really strong finish to the road trip. I really do. And they're going to go in. And it's not going to be like they're going to take this serious. They go into Vegas.
They should.
And they don't like Vegas because Vegas has kind of become a thorn in nemesis, right? Vegas.
Go and beat them then.
Yeah, and they go and beat them. And I think it's really that simple. And so they're going to be a pretty focused team on Tuesday, I think, going into Las Vegas. And, it's going to be good.
8 o'clock start Tuesday night. We are live on the air, 7 o'clock for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us then. I want to say a big thank you to Tony, Curtis, Faith, Connor, the bartender, as well as all the staff and everybody who came out tonight, all the nasties. You guys are tremendous. Norm, Trace, Sticky Rice, Rob and Cheryl, Tube Socks, Rip City Step. Benny Thompson came here with a big group of his friends from Nate. That was awesome. Benny's right there, actually. They were playing the Coors Light Sim Golf. Just absolutely tremendous all around. Congratulations to all our prize winners. Someone walked away with an Oilers jersey. Rob did. And not Rob from the Grove, but different Rob. And his wife was here, and it was her birthday, and she finally won something. It was a $25 GC.
Nice.
Just a lot of fun, and we are so thankful we can come down here and do our shows. Big thank you to BP, all of our sponsors and partners here at Edmonton Sports Talk and on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre-post game show. The last text I wanted to save, it was one I read earlier, but I liked it a lot. It's from Mike in Calgary, who says, "Great win. Team was teaming. Enjoy the night, boys." And with that, I say enjoy the night, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. For DVD and YouTube Trev, I'm Tom Gazzola saying ciao for now. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Drive safe.